across health and AI, spanning roles in operations, general management, product management, and project management. Across all of them, one theme has stayed constant. Whether it's putting people at the center, whether it's been patients, clients, or internal teams, my focus has always been on understanding the users and building with them in mind. I currently wear two hats. I'm the product lead at Goodmara, where we're building structural intelligence AI. Consultants and business leaders unlock hidden insights from unstructured business data. I'm also a product strategist for FinSpector, a tool that audits financial promotions and streamlines compliance workflows and reduces risk. So, AI is everywhere. It's in our inboxes, our search results, our daily workflows, often in ways that we don't even notice. If you scroll through LinkedIn or the news, you'll see businesses racing to add AI into everything they do. Some are even scrapping entire workflows and replacing them with AI, for example, Duolingo or Klarna. And we're yet to see how it will work out for Duolingo, but for Klarna, it's not working amazingly. So before you rush to do the same, let's take a step back. Let's talk about where AI actually adds value and where it's just hype dressed up as transformation. In our session today, I'll share a few examples of what can happen when companies jump on the AI bandwagon without a clear purpose. I'll walk you through a simple framework for evaluating whether AI is the right tool for a given job, and I'll show how that thinking has shaped two products that I work on, FinSpector and Goodmara. We'll also talk about balancing innovation with usability, because AI should work with your team and not add friction or complexity. So firstly, we'll talk about you as a business leader, and I know we've got some product managers on here as well. So AI isn't just a tech conversation, it's a whole business conversation. AI can drive real growth, but only when it's solving the right problems. So this session is designed for you with clear, actionable frameworks to help you assess AI-driven value and make smarter, more strategic decisions. When it comes to AI in business, there are two common pitfalls: overcomplication and gimmicky AI. I'll break down these pitfalls over the next few slides. Let's start with the first one, overcomplication. AI is technical by nature, so it's easy to get overwhelmed if you don't have a technical background. Without clear use cases, many business leaders struggle to see where AI actually fits into their organization. It becomes something for the data team or the tech team, but not a tool for driving strategic decisions. But if you're not able to develop at least a high-level understanding of the tools being used and the value that they're meant to deliver and whether there's real evidence your customers or end users will actually use them, you risk wasting time, money, and resources. For example, IBM Watson's for oncology was a $4 billion AI system built to recommend cancer treatments, but it was trained on hypothetical clinical data, leading to inaccurate and sometimes unsafe recommendations. Doctors didn't trust it, and the project was ultimately shut down after heavy criticism. It's a powerful reminder that even the biggest budgets and the boldest ambitions can't save an AI project if it's not clearly scoped, grounded in real needs, and carefully managed. Let's move on to the second common pitfall, gimmicky AI. So it starts with what's often called AI solutionism, the idea that if we just throw AI a problem or process more data, value will magically appear. But AI doesn't create value on its own. It only works when it's solving real business problems. And when AI tools don't integrate smoothly with existing workflows, when they sit off to the side, they'll add friction. And if they require a behavior change with no clear payoff, they tend to get ignored. Or worse, they can even erode trust. So the AI needs to be useful, not just impressive. And if it's not solving a problem people actually care about, it won't stick. There's a growing disconnect between how executives talk about AI and what's actually being delivered. This isn't because AI is failing. It's because most organizations lack the structure to measure and repurpose its impact. The gap isn't just a technical problem, it's a leadership and workflow problem. So, what does AI do best for organizations? There are three core areas where AI consistently delivers value. They're not the only ones, but it's a good place to start. So first, automating repetitive tasks. AI is great at taking the busy work of people takes. From checks, taking, fraud detection, humans can then focus on reviewing what the AI has produced, which frees up time. For a real-world example, we can look at CRM systems. Many companies still use legacy systems like Salesforce Classic, which doesn't use AI. These require complex setup, manual data entry, and expensive integrations just to get insights. But the newer businesses or businesses rethinking their tech stack can leapfrog straight into AI native platforms. These tools come with automations, predictive analytics, and smarter workflows built in. Enhancing decision making um, is the next one. So AI-powered analytics helps leaders make faster, more informed decisions in forecasting, planning, and in risk. One of the case studies we'll discuss later is Goodmara, and it's a really good example of this. Thirdly, unlocking new capabilities. AI enables things that just weren't possible before, like predicting trends, optimizing real time, and personalizing at scale. Netflix is a good example of this. Its entire recommendation engine is powered by AI, tailoring what you see based on your viewing history, the time of day, the device you're on, and how long you hover over a title. This kind of personalization isn't something a human team could do at scale. It's only possible because AI is working behind the scenes for millions of users at once. Again, this is where leapfrogging shows up. Instead of manually segmenting users and relying on broad categories, Netflix jumped straight into AI-driven personalization, delivering relevance in real time. So it's kind of like going directly to a smartphone instead of going through landlines and flip phones to get there. But there is a catch with leapfrogging. It only works if the foundations of a company are solid. If your data is messy, if there are skills missing, or if there's no clear use case, then AI might become an expensive distraction and not a solution. Some of the dangers of using AI without a clear purpose are, first, wasted investment. If AI isn't solving a real problem, it becomes just another tool that nobody uses. This was demonstrated earlier when I talked about IBM Watson. Secondly, it can add complexity. Sometimes AI just ends up creating more steps, more data, and more confusion without delivering any real efficiency. We've all experienced a bad chatbot that was frustrating rather than helpful. And if the experience is clunky or unhelpful, it doesn't matter that AI is powering it. It's still bad user experience. And that kind of confusion can erode trust with customers or users fast. Third, the reputational risk. When AI creates more problems than it solves, the damage isn't just operational, it's strategic. Customers might lose confidence, regulators might take notice, and internal teams could start resisting change. So what's the takeaway? AI should be built around real-world workflows. Therefore, before jumping into implementation, always ask, what business problems are we actually solving? So let's walk through a simple framework you can use to assess whether AI is actually the right solution for you and where it delivers real value. First, start with the business problem, not the technology. Too often teams might begin to ask, how can we use AI? But that's the wrong starting point. A better question to ask is, what's actually slowing down the business? What's blocking growth? What would help us beat the competition? Once you have clarity on that, you can evaluate whether AI is truly the best way to solve that problem, or if it might be simpler and more cost-effective to choose a different solution. Next, you want to measure the value of AI using three simple metrics. So every AI initiative should clearly deliver at least one of the following. Improved quality. So is it making better decisions? Is it enhancing the user experience? Is it reducing error rates? Cost reduction. Is it reducing overheads? Is it automating manual work? Is it improving operational efficiency? And time saving. Is it helping your employees and customers to do something faster and more efficiently? If you can't confidently say yes to at least one of these, then it's time to rethink the approach. To make this more real and demonstrate how you could apply it in your own companies, let's talk about a real-world challenge faced by Goodfolio. So Goodfolio is the company that I work for, and it's a venture-backed AI studio that builds AI-powered products in collaboration with industry experts. Our first and now failed venture was an investment platform focused on businesses creating positive impact. While that platform didn't succeed, it surfaced a major obstacle. The difficulty our marketing team faced navigating financial promotion regulations. And you can think of financial promotion regulations like a financial advert or marketing materials created by a finance company. This is the problem that led us to build FinSpector, an AI-powered compliance tool designed to simplify how teams manage regulatory risk. FinSpector was created in response to a specific high-stakes problem we faced at Goodfolio, firsthand. Now I'll apply the framework I shared in the previous slide. Does it improve quality? Yes, if compliance streamlining or compliance as an enablement tool is a priority. This is because it learns the company's rules and policies, and it always keeps a human in the loop. The results are more accurate, trustworthy marketing delivered faster. But when might FinSpector not improve quality? If compliance is already deeply embedded in the marketing team's workflow and errors are rare, then a tool like FinSpector might not be needed. Now let's look at cost savings. FinSpector could reduce the costs by helping finance companies avoid regulatory penalties and reputational damage, because FCA fines can be really large, and trust is really hard to rebuild. So a few £100s a month could deliver a reasonable return on investment for businesses that have high financial promotion activity and are not super confident that they are always abiding by financial regulations in their market. So the result would be less risk and a faster output with fewer compliance concerns. But again, FinSpector might not reduce costs if a company doesn't do that many financial promotions, or if compliance is already deeply embedded in their team. And then if we look at time saved, FinSpector can save time if a company regularly publishes financial promotions, but FinSpector might not save time if a business rarely produces promotions. So in short, if a finance company produces financial promotions regularly, is concerned about regulatory risk from financial promotions, or wants to streamline compliance, FinSpector could deliver value. So that is an example that's specific to FinSpector, but hopefully it helps you to see how you can use this framework in your own business. Let's look at another case study, this time from the world of strategy consulting. Goodmara is another Goodfolio company, and it was developed in response to a real-world challenge faced by consultants working on business transformation. The idea came directly from our CEO. He's a former transformation consultant, and he saw firsthand how inefficient and manual the client audit process was. Here's the problem we're solving. Assessing a client's business can take weeks, even months. Data is scattered across teams. Building a clear, accurate view of what's really going on is quite difficult. So there were a lot of AI tools that could be used, but most of them were quite generic and they weren't practical enough for deep strategic analysis. So we went out and we validated the problem. I ran 5 rounds of customer experience interviews with strategy consultants and private equity professionals. And the purpose of this was to map their workflows and identify friction points, to understand how they approach due diligence and deal with messy data, to explore where AI tools help and where they fall short, and most importantly, to understand where they wanted AI to help them. So here's what we learned. AI could dramatically speed up the process of mapping interdependencies within a business and help consultants and internal transformation teams diagnose inefficiencies faster with more precision. It could also help simulate different solutions, so consultants could test recommendations and reduce implementation risk before taking them to a client. Speaking to our end client helped us to shape exactly what Goodmara is, and we wouldn't have been able to build it without their insights. This will be the same for the AI tools you want to build or implement in your own workflows. How can you replicate this in your own business? The first, start with the team or the client you have in mind and gather workflows or user insights so you can understand their existing process. You need to understand who owns the process. Is it operations or finance? Are they internal or are they external? Is it a process that your customer is following? What are their biggest pain points? And what's taking long? Where are the inefficiencies? Is AI already being used? If so, what are its limitations? At Goodmara, I discovered from my interviews that strategic consultants were spending weeks collecting and analyzing data from their clients manually. That inefficiency became the starting point for AI exploration with Goodmara. Next, map out the pain points. Once you understand the challenges, focus on areas that take too long to complete, require a lot of repetitive manual effort, is data intensive, cause delays or errors, could improve decision making if automated. In strategy consulting, business audits and assessments are slow because it takes a long time to gather data from different areas of the business. The data is the data they need is mostly never readily available, so they generally have to use incomplete proxy data to understand a client's business. AI could accelerate this process by automatically mapping business dependencies and allowing consultants to go straight to where the issues lie, which is what Goodmara does. So once you've identified bottlenecks, evaluate all possible solutions, not just AI. You could ask questions like, is additional staff needed? Is it that the team you currently have need to be upskilled, or is it AI? This step is really important because BCG did a study on 750 workers, and it showed that AI has the capacity to increase productivity by 30 to 40%. But when used incorrectly, for example, when a junior developer used AI to code, there was a 30 to 40% decline in performance. This was because they used AI for something that was quite technical. They didn't fully understand it, so the output was wrong, and then they spent time and their manager spent time working out where the issues lay. So it's really important to understand when and why you are using AI. Once you've determined if AI is a good fit, then you can start small before scaling up. You can start with a pilot project. So test AI in a controlled environment. You can measure the success. Does it actually improve efficiencies? Then you can gather feedback from your team or your client. Did they find it useful? For example, at Goodmara, we're running a pilot program before rolling out AI to a broader audience. Early feedback helps to refine the product before launch, and it's been invaluable. So the key takeaways. That solve real problems, not just exist for novelty. You should evaluate AI using a time saved, cost reduction, and quality improvement metric framework. And AI should simplify processes, not make them harder. That is the end of my presentation. Are there any questions?
Perfect. Thank you very much. Round of applause. Where's the emoji? Yeah, thank you, Jess. Very interesting case studies. So any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Perfect.
So, do you all just identify the problem and provide the solution, or do you all do the actual implementation of the plan?
So, are you asking if my company does everything?
Yes.
Yes. So Goodfolio is a AI venture studio. So what we do is we will build AI products alongside a subject matter expert. So we do the implementation, but it will be for a specific product, if that makes sense. So for example, Goodmara, we built alongside a seasoned strategy consultant. So we knew what the problem was, but we had to go out and validate it, and then we built it.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I think something that can help me utilize the AI as a tool, as an implementing system and strategy to build a business off of. But I need some assistance in regards to strategically putting the methodology in place along with building the pilot program. So that's something that you all can basically do.
Yeah, do you want to drop me an email? So the next slide has my email address on it. It's jessica@goodfolio.com. So if you drop me an email and we can have a chat or we can schedule a catch up.
Thank you.
No worries.
Excellent. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, okay, I see you have your contact details on the slide. I'm also gonna write your email in the chat for anyone who wants to get in touch. And if you want to learn more about Tesseract Academy, here's our URL. So thank you very much for joining. Feel free to follow up with any questions which you might have. Make sure to follow Jessica as well as Tesseract Academy on LinkedIn, and we hope to see you again soon at some other of our events. Thank you.
Perfect. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.